All right. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. The season's here, ladies and gentlemen. The season is here. I cannot wait. Thursday night football is going to be something special. But before that happens, I feel it's time to hold myself accountable. This is something I haven't done on this channel before, and it's something I want to do. So I know I'm going to take a lot of heat towards the end of the season if these don't work out the way I think it's going to work out. But it's a nice thing to do. So I'm going to do it. Here are my AFC record predictions for the 2021 NFL season. You'll see the NFC predictions tomorrow, but here I'm going to give you my AFC predictions. So here it is. Take a look at your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Ravens flock, don't hurt me. I'm sorry, I don't have us winning the division this year. I'll explain. We'll start with the AFC North because I believe it's the first one on top. I have the Browns going 13-4, the Ravens going 12-5, making the playoffs, the Steelers at 10-7, and the Bengals at 8-9. Next, we have the AFC South. I got the Titans at 11-6, the Colts at 10-7, though that may change depending on Carson Wentz's status. If he plays week 1, I think and he goes throughout the season, they should be good at 10-7, but if he can't stay healthy, they may be out. So I'm taking a huge risk by picking the Colts. So I got them at 10-7. Then I got the Jags at 8-9, and then the Texans at 3-14. Next up, the AFC East. I got the Bills at 14-3, the Dolphins at 11-6, the Patriots at 10-7, and the Jets at 6-11. Lastly, we've got the AFC West. I got the Kansas City Chiefs going 15-2, the LA Chargers going 10-7, the Raiders going 9-8, and the Broncos going 7-10. With my playoff teams, you can hold me to this. My playoffs teams this season will be the Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Titans, Ravens, Dolphins, Chargers. Well, this should be fun. So, you've taken a look at my record predictions. Now it's time for some explanations. We'll start with the AFC North. Ravens flock, I'm sorry, but I have the Browns taking this division. Originally, I had the Ravens winning the division at 12-5. I also had Cleveland at 12-5. I believe both these teams will make the playoffs no matter what. But last night, I took a look at Cleveland's schedule. Not to mention, I factored in the talent and just everything that Cleveland has to offer. And man, when I really looked at the talent on this team, and they're arguably the most talented team in the league. Like, they are seriously challenging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in terms of talent on the roster. They are so just built. Offensively, defensively, just looking around, they have the talent to compete. This is a legit Super Bowl contending team on paper. They have the talent. But then I look at the schedule, and I see how the schedule is so favorable to the Browns. So you got the Browns with a favorable schedule. They have arguably the most talented team in the league. And then you factor in that Baltimore has been dealing with injuries throughout throughout preseason and the training camp. Not to mention, we've just lost 2 of our backs, though we did get Le'Veon Bell today. And, you're going to start the season without Rashad Bateman or Miles Boykin. Just so many factors play into this. Meanwhile, Cleveland is good to go, and their schedule heavily favors them, especially that 3-game matchup where they face off against Baltimore twice. They get us, then they get a bye week, and then we got to go to Cleveland. Meanwhile, for us, we take them on, then we got to go to Pittsburgh, then we got to go to Cleveland. That's killer. So when I factor all this in, I think the Browns deserve at least an extra game. I think they can get that. I believe there's a lot of, high hopes for the Browns this year, and when you look at the talent, they should be able to win this division. Honestly, if they don't win this division, or worse, they don't make the playoffs, they will have some serious questions for Baker Mayfield at the end of the season. I don't think that's going to be the case. As long as Baker plays the way he played last season, they should be able to take this division, but we'll see what happens. Pittsburgh at 10-7, I definitely believe they're going to fight to make the playoffs, though I feel like it's going to be a situation where the Steelers may end up just getting the short end of the stick here, because I see a lot of these teams going like 10-7. It's going to be a situation like last year where a 10-win team just doesn't make the playoffs, because that's just how it ends up happening. And I think the Steelers may end up getting that. They'll definitely fight. They'll compete. Do not underestimate the Steelers. They can end up winning this division. Who knows? But don't underestimate them. They'll definitely be competing. I think they can definitely get double-digit wins. But I don't know, man. It's a very, very tough AFC this year. Next, when I take a look at the AFC South, not much to say there. I've already spoken on the Colts situation with Carson Wentz. If he can play the whole season, I think they can get to 10 wins. But other than that, I'm not sure. I think the Titans, again, they've got a lot of talent, and it really depends on how their secondary performs this season, because they've definitely made a lot of changes on their defense, especially in that secondary throughout this offseason. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think the Titans, really, this is a division they should be able to take. The Colts, I like them, but again, that Carson Wentz situation, if he can stay healthy, they may even win the division, but I'm not sure. Then I look at the Jags, and I look at a team that has a lot of optimism on their side and a lot of high hopes, but they're not expecting to automatically make the playoffs right now. This should just be a season where we get to see what Trevor Lawrence can do for the team, and they slowly build themselves back up. So I think they're going to be heading towards the pot. They're going to be heading upwards, no question. So it's going to be a positive look for them this season. However, they're going to miss the playoffs because the AFC is too tough this year. And as for the Texans, I don't really have any hopes for the Texans. I don't think anybody has hope for the Texans. Not even Texans fans have hope for the Texans. So that's kind of how that just rolls there. And then I take a look at the AFC East, which is very difficult for me to be able to determine. The Bills. The Bills are one of the best teams in the league. They got to the AFC Championship game last year. They have one of the best young quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen. And the one weakness they had on this team was their pass rush. They've upgraded their pass rush. The pass rush was the reason they couldn't get to Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. Bro, that pass rush, they've upgraded it. They have one of the best secondaries in the league. The Bills are going to go 14-3. I'm telling you, man, the Bills this year, oh, man. If Josh Allen can play at maybe not up to that level, because what he was last year was spectacular, but if he can still play somewhere near that level, bro, the Bills are going to be 14-3. No question. They're going to be the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they will be seriously challenging the Kansas City Chiefs, and they may get back there, and we'll possibly may see a rematch of the AFC Championship game last year. Who knows? Then I look at the Dolphins, and I like the Dolphins. This was tough to pick the Dolphins over the Patriots. However, the Patriots with Mac Jones is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what Belichick's going to do, and I think Belichick's definitely going to get them to a winning record. However, I'm not sure they're going to make the playoffs, and I think that's going to be very interesting. I have them as another 10-7 team. However, just like Pittsburgh, I think they're going to get the short end of the stick and just barely miss the playoffs. I like the Dolphins this year. I got them at 11-6. This is my dark horse team. The Dolphins are my dark horse team to make the Super Bowl. I like what I'm seeing from the Dolphins, just in terms of the way they've drafted, the way they've handled the offseason, the way they've handled free agency. Everything seems built up to be a great year for the Dolphins. You know, last year, 10-6, barely missed the playoffs. I think they're going to get an extra win now, and they're going to make that push and actually make the postseason. Now, this all depends on Tua. And the big part of why I'm picking this is because I have faith and belief in Tua. Tua's my guy. So, I have faith and belief in him being able to take that next step. But most importantly, just looking at the team, the way it's built, they're going to be a playoff team. This team was built very well. Over the last 2 years, they have really reamped this Dolphins team. They have really fixed it up. So I'm really excited to see the Dolphins play this year. I'll be rooting for them whenever I got the chance to. So I got them as my dark horse team, so obviously they got to make the playoffs. But yeah, this could very well change depending on how Mac Jones plays. If he just takes off, if Mac Jones plays just as good, if not better than the way he was playing in the preseason, and it gives me man, I can't even think about that. If he plays just like that, the Patriots may actually make the playoffs. Well, if he plays like that, then my whole pick about the Dolphins making the playoffs might end up changing. But I don't know. I think Mac Jones is going to have a very interesting rookie year. He's going to help this team win a lot of games, or at least be a contributor to win a lot of games. I think that defense is going to be a big part of why they win a lot of games this year. But I just think it may be a little bit too early to see the Patriots get back to the postseason, with now you having a rookie quarterback there. But then again, it's the Patriots. Never underestimate Bill Belichick, so we'll see what happens with that. And as for the Jets, Zach Wilson definitely is your guy right now. We'll see what he can do this season. I think he'll be heading towards a positive direction, but I don't have a lot of hopes in you guys being able to make the playoffs in a tough AFC like this. However, I do hope to see a lot of positives for the Jets this year. I think you guys are going to be heading in the positive direction. I think Zach definitely looks to be that guy, so you may actually win 1 or 2 games. I may actually want to change you guys to maybe 8 or 9, because I like what I saw from Zach Wilson in the preseason, so I may actually want to give you guys 2 more wins here. I may think about that because I really like what I saw from Wilson in the preseason, so you guys may actually have a couple more wins than I actually predicted for you guys, but I still don't think you're going to make the playoffs. It's a bit too early, but you guys are heading in the right direction. And finally, we take a look at the AFC West. The Kansas City Chiefs, 15-2. Last year they were 15-1, easily had the number 1 seed. I don't see them not getting the number 1 seed this time. The one weakness they had was their offensive line. That was the biggest issue in the Super Bowl. And again, many Chiefs fans really believe that if that offensive line had been good or at least solid, that game would have been a lot closer. And I'm inclined to believe. I'm definitely inclined to believe that's the case for the most part. I don't know if they would have won that game, but it definitely would have been an interesting game because that was a pathetic blowout and it was a disappointing Super Bowl. If they had an O-line, that would have been a much closer game, more exciting, but I don't know if the Chiefs would have won that though. However, the Chiefs have definitely, fixed up that offensive line. One of the biggest moves they made was trading for Orlando Brown Jr. Again, Ravens, why did you give them that? We're past that. But yeah, they definitely made some moves. Picked up some offensive linemen in the draft. They completely reamped their offensive line. So we'll see how this O-line does in terms of protecting Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, Mahomes is still Mahomes. Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce. Tyreek Hill is still Tyreek Hill. Andy Reid still Andy Reid. I have full faith and confidence in this team. They've been to the AFC Championship game for 3 straight years, and they've been to back-to-back Super Bowls. Until, legit, listen to me when I say this. And I know you're going to have some fans being like, I don't know, man. The Bills are looking like they're coming. Listen, until the Chiefs are defeated in the AFC, they reign supreme. Until somebody can beat them in the postseason, they get the benefit of the doubt. They have the best quarterback in the AFC. They look to be the best team in the AFC, and they've been dominating for 3 years. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to dominate once again because Mahomes still looks like Mahomes, and the team still looks like the team, and they still look like they're ready to ball out. So number 1, I'm giving 15-2 to the Chiefs. They're going to get that number 1 seed, no question. Then I got the Chargers at 10-7. I have the Chargers actually making the playoffs. I think the Chargers may actually get some good luck this season in terms of that. Usually they suffer a lot of heartbreaking losses and luck just doesn't work on their side and they end up missing the playoffs. I think this year will be a year they actually get luck on their side and they somehow win the tiebreaker between them, the Patriots, and the Steelers, as well as the Colts, because it's really going to be tough, man. It's really going to be tough. But yeah, I think the Chargers are actually going to make the playoffs. I loved what I saw from Justin Herbert last season, and I think he's going to build on that. I know a lot of people are looking to call his rookie season a fluke, but I really liked what I saw from Herbert. And if they just had a decent kicker and 1 or 2 things gone their way, they would have won more games. I think this year, Herbert's going to be much more relaxed, much more experienced and controlled in the offense. They'll definitely be able to handle those heartbreaking type situations. They won't be in so many heartbreaking losses this season. They'll be able to handle those type of situations. Herbert will definitely be prepared for those type of situations, but who knows, man, that kicking situation. I still don't think they fixed their kicking situation, which scares me. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I like the Chargers this year. I like the direction they're going. I like Herbert. I think he's going to take that next step. He's going to build on his rookie season, and he's just going to keep going up. So I think the Chargers are actually going to be the one team to be able to break this whole tie that I have in the AFC, because I have 4 teams in the AFC winning 10 plus games right here. Wow, list Steelers 10-7, Colts 10-7, Patriots 10-7, and then Chargers 10-7. Yeah, I got 4 teams with like 10 wins right now. Somebody's got to take that 3rd playoff spot. So yeah, I'm going to pick the Chargers for that. And then afterwards, we got the Raiders at 9-8. I think the Raiders are going to be similar to what they were last year. A really good football team that's going to compete for a playoff spot. It's going to come down to the wire. However, they're just going to come up short. And yes, Raider fans, we know you have talent. We know you have Ruggs. We know you have Waller. We know you have Jacobs. We know Derek Carr is a good quarterback. We know you've made improvements to your front 7. We know you've made improvements to your defense overall. We get it. I get all these Raider fans coming after me because I didn't rank their team high. Bro, did you see all the... We get it. We saw all the moves. With that being said, I still think you're going to be a team that competes for a playoff spot, but you're going to come up short. I don't trust the coaching of this team. I'm not a fan of John Gruden. I've never really been a fan of John Gruden. And I still don't believe his coaching style is going to help the Raiders get to the postseason. Maybe you just get talented to the point you just break through. And maybe the talent just carries this team. Because I liked a lot of... Again, there's talent on both sides of the ball for the Raiders. I just don't like the coaching. And coaching is very important. That is the number one thing you have to focus on. If you don't have a good head coach, all that talent goes to waste. Go ask Cleveland. They had the talent in 2019. The coaching was a huge problem. Yeah, Baker did not play well, but the coaching had a factor in that. If you don't have great coaching, you're not really going to go anywhere. And I don't look at Gruden at this stage. Back in the day, sure. Now, with the way he likes to play and the way he likes to coach, no. I don't trust his coaching style, and I don't think it's going to get the Raiders to the postseason. Prove me wrong. For 3 years, I've said the Raiders aren't going to make the playoffs. You missed it each and every time, and you had moments last year to try and push through. You couldn't get it done. Prove us wrong, Raider fans. Prove us wrong. It is what it is. And last but not least, I got the Broncos 7-10. I don't really like the Broncos quarterback situation. I like Bridgewater, but he's not the Vikings Bridgewater, so I don't think Teddy's going to be able to do enough to get them anywhere in the AFC West, let alone the AFC alone, because like there's nothing there, man. This is such a tough conference. So much talent. So I don't know. I look at the Broncos situation. Like I said, I like the team. I like what they have on the defensive side. I like what they have on the offensive side. They have the talent. It's just a quarterback situation. Between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, I don't really think either one of these guys can take them to the postseason. Now, had they had gotten Aaron Rodgers, this is a different discussion, but that's not what they have, so it is what it is. Anyway, that is my predictions for this upcoming season. The divisional winners, like I said, will be the Browns for the AFC North, Titans for the AFC South, Bills for the AFC East, and Chiefs for the AFC West. And then the 3 wildcard spots will go to the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Chargers. Meanwhile, teams like the Steelers, the Colts, and the Patriots will just come up short because there's not enough playoff spots, and we'll see what happens with that. There it is. There's my record predictions. You guys feel free to hold me to that. If your team did not get picked by me and you guys end up going to the postseason, especially Raider Nation, I know they will come after me if they actually break through and make the playoffs. If your team makes the playoffs, feel free to come back to this video and make your comments and say, well, you doubted our team, look what we did. I'm fine with that. It's a record prediction. If your team makes the playoffs, congratulations. I'll be here to watch it, so I'll be excited to see what they can do in the postseason. But, at the end of the day, some teams are just not going to make it. Some teams are just going to cut it short, and other teams are just going to play terrible. Not every team on this list is going to have a good season, and we know that's the case. You may be a fan of that team, you're just going to have to deal with it. But it is what it is. Anyway, that is all I got for my AFC predictions. Look out for the NFC predictions, and then Thursday Night Football. I'll have to get my Week 1 predictions out before. Yeah, I'll probably do it the day of. So look, okay, today's Tuesday, so tomorrow I'll get my NFC record predictions out, and then Thursday, that morning before the game, I will give you my Week 1 predictions, and then Thursday Night Football, which will be fun. With that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!